Hey guys, it's Meso. Welcome to my kitchen today. I'm so glad to have you. Today, we are not going to be cooking exactly. The food shortages and the escalating prices of food, I know that you've seen it. Some things that I buy on a regular are 3 to 4 times more expensive than they used to be just a few short months ago. Also, you've heard about the food shortages. So there's a lot of concern for all of us to make sure that we can provide food for our families. One way to do that is to not allow things to rot and go bad in your refrigerator. Today I've already been canning some carrots. I had 6 pounds of carrots. No way we could eat that many carrots in a short amount of time. So what I decided to do was to can them so that they don't go bad. What I put in here is a little salt, little Mrs. Dash, and some garlic. And these smell delicious. So we'll have this on the shelf. These can be used for, put it in your smoothies with kale and some other vegetables. You can put these into your soups and stews. So there are a lot of ways to use these carrots. So I wanted to get them on my shelf rather than to let them go bad. This is not a season to be letting food go bad. Also, I drink kombucha, and it's very expensive and close to $4 a bottle where I live. And so that's a no-no. I'm not gonna be spending that kind of money. I know how to make kombucha. So I've been making my own kombucha for a good while now. And so that's my kombucha on the back of the counter. So I have that, and today we're going to make salmon. So let's stop yakking and let's get this started. And I wanna show you how I do it. Come on. Look what we got here, some salmon, and we're about to can it. Yeah, today with all the food shortages and all the prices are rising like crazy, I'm gonna show you how to get something discounted and get it up on your shelf, and it's gonna be really good for you and your family. So this is salmon here, and what you can do is buy salmon trimmings. I got this from one of our markets, and I just asked for the trimmings, and you see that I have a good little bit of meat on these bones, and so I am going to pressure can the bones, meat and all, and it's just going to be just like the salmon that you get in the cans at the store. You're going to have bones in it, but they're going to be so soft that you can either take them out, or you can have the bones in there and just mash them up. They're going to be soft, and that way you get extra nutrients, you get calcium, minerals. It'll be really good for you. But anyway, this was cheap. This was only 95 cents a pound. So hey, I can do this. So I want you to do it too. So I have these sterilized jars. These are pint jars, and I'm just going to push this salmon down into these jars. I'm doing what is called cold pack or raw pack because my food is room temperature, really not cold, but it's room temperature, and my salmon is raw. So this is going to be raw packed. I'm not going to cook it before I process it. So I'm just getting this salmon into the jars, and you can see there's a bone in the center. I'm not worrying about it. I'm just pushing it down around the bone. Sometimes the bone sort of makes extra space where you have to put salmon into, but that's okay. You just look at it and just push your salmon in here. And I'm pushing. Can you see there? Yeah, I'm getting in every space that is open. I'm just putting salmon down in here and just pressing it and pushing it down. Now, this is fun, but I kid you not, my kitchen smells like a fish factory. Yeah, this salmon has a strong taste, but it's fresh. It's fresh. It was just cut to this morning. So yeah, you go to your market where they sell fresh salmon, and you can just ask for trimmings. And sometimes the meat, there'll be a lot of meat on there, depending on how careless the person that was cutting it was. But all of it is good. All of it is good. I've done this before, and it tastes, you got just as much meat as you have when you buy the canned salmon. In fact, I bet that's where they get theirs from. I used to think it was probably like whole pieces of salmon, but it's probably trimmings. 95 cents a pound, y'all. Yeah, I have a lot of it. I think I have 22 pounds of salmon. And I'm just still continuing to get it down into my jars. These are pint jars, as I said. I wouldn't want to can, a quart of salmon. Now, I am here using a tool that is called a debubbler. And what it does is gets out any air pockets or any places where there's an air bubble in your canning. It's really important. You want to make sure you have no air bubbles in your canning. Also now, when you do this, you can add salt, Salt is not part of the canning process. It's just for flavor. If you want to get flavor in yours, you can add some salt. You can add a little bit of garlic if you want to. But I don't think I'm going to add anything. I think I'm just going to can mine as is, and I'll add my salt and my other seasonings when I open up these jars. Now, these are a couple of cute jars that I have. These are mason jars, and they have handles on them. They can be used for mugs, but I didn't use mine for mugs. I'm using mine for canning. At this rate, in this day and time, you got to use every canning jar you can get because they're scarce now, and they are so expensive. I had somebody to ask me, what do canning jars cost? About $49 for 12? I was like, no. Yes, that's what they cost now, but they shouldn't cost that much. They were about $8 for a dozen of jars, but not so now. So many people are doing food prepping and food preservation at home. So here you see what I did. I took the rims of these jars and I used a napkin, actually dipped in vinegar, and I wiped around all the rings. There might be a little grease from where I was pushing the salmon down into the jar, maybe a little grease or something on those edges, and it will keep your jars from sealing. So I took the vinegar and wiped around all the edges. Now I am getting my jars, my lids out of the warm water, and I'm placing them on my jars. I'm going to come back and put my rings on, just finger tight. Don't crank down on them. Don't make it too tight. Just make it what you can tighten with 3 fingers. Just make it finger tight. So I'm doing that. Now you see some of my jars here. This is my pressure cooker, and you see the rack that I have down in the bottom. That's to keep the jars from sitting directly on the heat. I put in 2 quarts of water. I want to show you this little nipple. When your pressure cooker is on and the pressure is up, this rubber nipple and that metal nipple in the back will stand up. This is a part too. You want to check this every time you get ready to use it. Make sure that you can either see through it or turn it on the other side and actually blow through it. Put your hand behind it so you can feel the air. You want to make sure this is not clogged. There's a rubber gasket that goes inside, so you want to keep that in there, and from time to time you oil it. Here I'm putting in 1/4 cup of vinegar, and now I'm ready to get my jars in. Now since my salmon, this room temperature was cool, then my jars are cool and this water is cool, so I'm going to start everything at the same temperature. If you're canning something and you may had yours hot, then everything with your water would be hot, your jars would be hot, everything would be hot. But this is raw and cold pack. I'm getting my lid on here, and then now I just want to show you, I'm turning it on. Really, I'm turning it on pretty high because now I want to get this to steaming. So you see this nozzle here? So this, we're going to let this, you can see the steam coming out. When that steam has been coming out for, once you see it coming out, you're gonna set your timer for 10 minutes. Let it come out for 10 minutes, and then you put your weight on it. Here, where I live, I pressure cook at about 10 or 11 pounds. So this is at 11 pounds or 10 pounds. I let it cook that way for 90 minutes. And then at 90 minutes, when the timer goes off, I shut it off. I don't do anything else. I don't touch it. I shut it off. And if you're going to open it, you let everything come back to 0. And then at 10 minutes after it comes back to 0, then you can open it. But it's going to be very hot. Mine has been here for hours. I didn't have to open mine. So now I'm just opening it. And you can see mine is not hot. Mine is warm, but not very hot. And I am taking this one out. I want to show you, and the reason that I can show you this and touch it is because it's warm. Aren't these gorgeous? They are beautiful. I've got all these beautiful salmon to go up on my shelf that I can eat at any time throughout the year, and for maybe 2 to 5 years in the future. Get this on your shelf. You do this. Make this for your family, and you'll be glad that you did, especially with these rising prices. This is 95 cents a pound, y'all. Can't beat that. Hey guys, I appreciate you, and I want to thank you for coming by, checking up on me. You wanted to see what I was doing, and you knew I'd be throwing down. Well, I hope I did not disappoint. For all you that are subscribed to me, I thank you, and I hope you did hit the notification bell. And if you haven't subscribed, then why not? Hit that red subscription button, that subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell until parentheses come around the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Guys, give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, share my videos wherever you're active on social media, and come and visit me on the other platforms that I'm on. I'm on TikTok, Meso Making It. I'm on Instagram, Meso Making It, and Facebook, Meso Making It. Come over and give me a shout out, show me some support. I really appreciate it. I thank you for watching, guys. Be good, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.